You want me to start or you want to start?
You go first.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Joanna.
And I'm Ricky.
And this is the Jones Life. Welcome to our page. And today's video, it's about our favorite apps. I know there's thousands of apps out there. I'm pretty sure you guys could name a lot of them. So that's what we're doing this video. We want to share with you our favorites as an individual person, for myself and Ricky, and as a family, and the ones that we love to use for the kids as well too. So I hope you guys like this video, you share it, and comment below when we're done with this video so we could know what apps you like as well. So I hope you take the challenge to let us know what apps you guys like. So my favorite app, and the first one would be the top one. As an event planner, I like to get creative and find and get inspired by other people, or again, through this app that I use. So I use, my top one is Pinterest. Some of you have heard of it, some of you haven't heard of it. But Pinterest is such a fun place to get ideas for events, for recipes, for activities, for kids crafts. So that's definitely one of my top ones that I use. When I heard of Pinterest, I think you got it first, right? And I was like, oh, what's this all about? And now I can't stop using it.
It's an addiction.
It's an addiction. So Pinterest is my number one app that I love, especially as a creative and as a creative person. I like to get new ideas and get inspired by Pinterest. So I love Pinterest. So, and it's very easy to use. Again, it's by categories, or it's by your special. You follow people, so you can even have your own Pinterest. So if I want to open my own Pinterest, which again we do for the Jones Life, and put our own projects and stuff, you could also have an account for that. So that's definitely a go if you're interested in the having your own account. So Pinterest is definitely one of my favorites. The second.
How does it work though? So basically, you find something that you're interested in and you pin it.
Yes.
You can create a board. It's called a board. So it's just like in the old school days, you would pin
files.
a post-it note to a bulletin board. So you create. You mentioned categories. You create boards.
Yeah.
So for example, for the Jones Life, we have one that's parenting. So things that we see that are related to parenting, we'll pin it to the parenting board within our account or our profile,
yes.
right?
And also it's joined with Facebook, so you could log in with Facebook, and then your friends get recommended into Pinterest, and you could follow your friends as well too, and then you could share your pins with your friends. You could send messages within your group as well too. So it's a very fun app to use. Again, if you're interested. If you're interested in anything, basically, so definitely look it out, check it out, and that's a must that you must have on your apps. So that's our number one. Well, my number one. My second one would be OfferUp. If you haven't heard of OfferUp, it's kind of like Craigslist, but very similar. What I like about it is that you actually could see a picture of the seller who's ever selling it. Again, you make your own account, you put your information, so it's very safe. So you don't even, so it's all the messaging that you do with the sellers is through the app. So you don't give your information out as well. Oh. So for example, for Craigslist, you have to give your cell phone out, or your email. And for this, you don't. It has to go through the app. So if you want to sell things or find things, this is a great place to find items, vintage items, anything from furniture, from clothing, from cameras, for everything. So that's as a frugal person, and a person that likes to save money, this is my number one place to go, other than thrift stores and stuff. OfferUp is such a cool place to look for things that you'll be surprised. So one example that recently I got, I've been looking for this doll that's been out for probably like 5 years or more. I saw it at Disneyland, and it's some dolls that sing Small World, but in a different language. So let me show you. And so anyhow, before I show you guys, I've been trying to get this doll for the longest time, and asked my husband to get it for me, but I guess they went out of it's not stock. They discontinued the doll. So when I heard that, I was like, oh my goodness. So, and if you try to find them, like, they're like $250 now, because you don't find them anywhere. So I went to OfferUp, and for some reason I just put Disney doll, and it came up, and I was like, oh my goodness, I have to get this. So I found the doll, and it's the Mexican version, the Hispanic version, that that speaks the
Sings
language,
the song
that
in
sings the song in English and Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
So I was super excited to find it. I drove like 20 miles away from where I live, and went to get the doll, and I got it for such a cheap price. It was $10. It is missing like the shoes and stuff, but that was not a problem. So anyhow, so this is the doll. I think it's super cute, and it sings Small World in English. So that's the Spanish version, and then it sings it in English.
But I think one of the other benefits of Offer Up is like with Craigslist, you're just posting one thing that's for sale or whatever.
Yes,
but with
and
Offer
here
Up,
you could put
one person creates a profile and they can sell like some of the stuff that you found the other day. She found like it's like basically you have like kind of your own store on there, so it's pretty cool.
Again, we'll put a link below so you can check it out, and that's another one that you should definitely look into. And my third one would be Overview. I'll repeat it again. It's called Overview, and again, we'll put a link below to see what it's all about. Overview, it's an app that I use, but we use it as a couple as well, and he has it on his phone as well too, because he'll explain why. So Overview, it's an app that we use to see and track. There you go. That's a word. To track our fertility signs, I guess you would say, in a natural way. So I know a lot of couples out there and use a lot of contraception and stuff to avoid pregnancy, and so as Catholics, we believe that it should be done in a natural way. And so when we heard of NFP, again, we'll talk about NFP later in a video to be more specific on what that is. And it's NFP stands for Natural Family Planning, which is basically a natural way in conceiving and avoiding pregnancies. And I don't really like to, and he knows this, that I don't like to use the word avoid pregnancies, but plan your pregnancies, because we're very open to life, and we know that God calls us to be
parents.
Not parents, not produce. What's the word? Reproduce. I don't like that word.
First command that God gives in the Bible is be fruitful and multiply.
Fruitful. That was the word that I was trying to say. Fruitful. And we've been open to life, but also there's times that we have to be, have abstinence for some reason, financial, situations and so forth. And so that's why I love NFP, because it's a natural way, and you track your signs to see when you're fertile and when you're not fertile. Yep. So when we heard of NFP, we took a class, and we did it for almost 3 months.
We actually read a book first,
yes,
and then we took the class.
Yes, and we'll talk about it more, our experience with NFP. But anyhow, when you do NFP, you basically chart your signs, your fertile signs, your fertility signs, and this is what a sample that we did. And it's, again, it's recommended to do it every month, because then that's how you really know for sure your fertile signs. So going back to the app, so that's what that's the NFP part. But again, we'll do another video on that. And so we found Overview, and it's very, very similar. I'm pretty sure 99% similar, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it's very similar, and it gives you at the bottom the same thing. That it's you have to really chart and track daily to get accurate results. And so we found this, and it's very similar. So that's something that we use on a daily basis. So if you're interested, again, download it, look into it. But if you're interested in NFP, we'll do another video on that. Again, we're not counselors on that, but we have experience. Exactly. So we'll do another video on that. So Overview, it's my third app that we use on a daily basis. And
again, like I said, these are apps that we're trying to share that you probably haven't heard of, or
maybe you have.
Maybe you have, but most of these you probably haven't heard of, and that's why we wanted to share these with you. Mine are maybe a little bit more nerdy, so I'm going to get into that. So the first one for me is Evernote. So back in the good old days, this is how we would take notes.
I still do.
And I hate this because, and it happens to her all the time, she'll make notes, and then she loses the notes. And then you lose the information that you're trying to remember.
Have you seen that pink paper with this? And then he's like, nope.
They always get lost, and that's how I am. People will give me a handout or a flyer or something, I always lose it.
Yep.
And I mean, these are just a couple of the notebooks that I have of stuff that I actually kept together because it's in a big notebook, but the majority of the stuff that I get, if it's on paper, I lose it. even mail and bills.
Tell me about it.
That's another app. But
Man.
this one this one is Evernote. Basically, Evernote, what it does is it allows you to take notes. It allows you to save ideas, thoughts.
Pictures.
I'm exactly
like
every
screenshot
anything. You
things.
can do bookmark websites that you like. So the idea behind it is it's like a digital brain. That's how I see it. And I don't have the best memory, and sometimes I forget things. So that's a way for me to put it somewhere where I know all of my thoughts and ideas and things like that are stored in this one location. I can access it on my phone. I can access it on the tablet or on the computer, whether online or with the app. And so it's like I know where all this information is stored, so I can get to it at any time. So there's some cool features that come with it. You can, for example, like a business card or even just any piece of paper, like a printed piece of paper. If you take a picture of it it has a regular camera and a document camera. And the document camera is cool because it actually doesn't just take a photo, it reads the document. So when you go back later on and you search for a certain phrase or a word, it will actually search the words in that document. So if I take a picture of Joanna's business card, it will actually search for her. If I search for her name, that will come up. So it's pretty cool. That's something that more the techie side. But the other thing that's cool is that you can categorize and tag things differently. So for example, if I come up with an idea of a video that we want to do for the Jones Life, I'll go into Evernote and I'll type in, maybe a possible title, and I'll maybe put a couple of bullet points of ideas that I have for what we could talk about on this video. And so what I'll do is I'll tag that the Jones Life, I'll tag it blog, and I'll tag it post idea. So that's 3 tags that I can apply to it that will help me to find it in the future, because obviously the longer you have it, this list of information is going to grow. So it helps to make it easier to kind of categorize all these different thoughts and ideas and notes into an organized way. Whereas if I just have a big notebook like this, it's going to have all different kinds of stuff, and you just really have to read through it to know what you're looking for. So it's not very practical.
Yes.
So that's why I love Evernote. Again, you can use it on any device. It's free. There is a paid version that gives you like unlimited storage and stuff like that. But unless you're like using it like over the top, then I don't think you really need it. I just use the free version, and I use it every day. So I use it for personal, I use it for business, I use it for blogging, for writing. Even when I wrote my book, I used Evernote to actually write it, and then I moved it over into a book publishing program, which I can maybe talk about on another video. So Evernote, that's my first one. I know it's nerdy, but I'm a nerd. So the second one was, let's see, I have Mint. So I was mentioning bills. I'm not always the most best person when it comes to money. So in these days you have lots of bills, you have lots of different accounts. So we've got our personal bank accounts, business bank accounts. We use PayPal for different things. We probably have like 3 or 4 different PayPal accounts. We've got your retirement accounts. We've got your credit cards. You have car loans. All of these things. And it's hard to keep track of that. And that's what I try to tell her sometimes. When I get behind on things or when I forget about stuff, it's because there's just so many different accounts. And to go online and logging into all the different online banking for each account, it's hard to keep track of where your money is and how much money you have in each account. And so
that's just like,
yes, but it's hard. Just like Evernote, that
hard.
with Evernote, you where all your information is. But with what Mint does is it allows you to.
It's okay.
What Mint does is it allows you to keep track of all those different accounts, credit cards, and bills, and everything. You can even do budgeting in it. It keeps track of it all in one place. So when you log into Mint, it's basically a dashboard of all your accounts. It's very secure. It keeps track of all of that stuff, and basically you log in and you can get access. You see immediately how much money you have. There's a rundown on the side of the screen with how much money is in every single account that you have. What I like most about the app, though, not just the organization and the fact that it brings everything together into one place, but what I like most is the automated feature. So what it does is it'll tell you, oh, you got a bill coming up in a couple of days. It just knows. It tracks how much, like it'll automatically categorize your transactions into different things. So it'll know that if you spent $10 at Vaughn's, it knows that that's groceries. So it goes under groceries. So you can actually set up a budget. But even if you don't set up the budget, it'll categorize your spending and kind of break it down for you, so you know, well, you're spending this much money a month on groceries, you're spending this much on eating out. And so if you're really watching it
Yeah.
keeps track of that for you, so you don't have to be entering in every transaction. With some of the other budget apps that I've used, you have to be on top of every single transaction, and these days it's just hard because you're not paying cash, you're using a card, or you've got bills that are just automatically coming out of your account, and so it's hard to keep track of all of that without a tool like this. And so I love the fact that it keeps track of everything for you. And honestly, as soon as you set it up, a lot of that stuff is just automatic. The only thing that you really have to go in if you want to is to set up budgeting. So if you say you only want to spend, $200 on groceries a month, then if you go over that, if you get close to it, it'll alert you and say, oh, you've spent this much, and it's got bar graphs and stuff. It's really cool. It is a little bit nerdy, but I think it's a very important part of life, especially married life, is finances. And so I like that app, and I definitely recommend that.
Number 3.
Number 3 is, it's called Truth and Life Audio Bible. We're Catholics, just in case you didn't know. We try to be open about that, but we don't push it on anybody. We believe that the Bible is the Word of God, and we want to know what God has to say to us, what He has shown us in the past, and what He has planned for us in the future. And so this book is a big part of how we communicate with God, how we learn to know His will and to follow Him. And so sometimes it can be daunting to want to pick up this big old book. This one's got how many pages? 1,500 pages. So
Can you tell we still use the Catholic Youth Bible because we're young?
it can be hard sometimes because our lives get busy to sit down, have quiet time, and read. Like for us with young kids and all the things that we do, it can be hard to find that time. We do it and we strive for it, but what I love about this app is it brings the Bible to life for you through audio. So you can be washing the dishes and reading the Bible at the same time. You can be jogging, going for a run. You can be on your morning commute to work and be immersing yourself in the scriptures. And I think that's a powerful thing. And it's not just like some guy reading the Bible and narrating it to you. It's very dynamic. It's like a Hollywood production if you were to watch a movie on the Bible. And so they have famous actors that came in and did the voice acting for this. It's dramatized. You actually hear Jesus having conversations with His disciples, the miracles. There's an original score and background music and effects, and it's really very well done. And so I think it even has an imprimatur from the Vatican, and so it's a very good app. I like it because of that, because you can be immersing yourself in the story. It's like if you're in the scene. So it's like if you're gonna see, when Jesus is performing some miracle, it feels like you're in that time or in that scene of the movie or whatever. So it's beautiful. It brings the Bible to life for you in a powerful way, and it's free. The app is free. You can download it for free. You get one book of the Bible, and again, this is New Testament only. If I didn't mention that already, it only has the New Testament. But even with that, it's a lot to get through. So you have the full New Testament, which costs about $20 if you want to buy all of it. But it comes with one gospel, which is either Matthew or Mark, I don't remember. And then for the rest of it, you buy it. It's like $20, around $20. So I definitely recommend that app. It's gonna help you to get into the Bible more. For those of you who are not readers, like this one over here, it's a good way to still get into the Bible, to still listen, because in the early days there was no Bible that you would sit down and read. It was transmitted by word of mouth. People were sharing these stories. They were being proclaimed or preached at Mass on Sundays, and so that's how people got their Bible. Obviously these days we can go to the store and buy a Bible, and that's great, but in the good old days it was through hearing. And so I think it's a totally different experience, totally different way of taking in these stories and these messages from God when you're hearing it and not just reading it. So I definitely recommend that. It's Truth and Life Audio Bible.
So those are our apps that we use for myself, my top 3, and for Ricky's top 3. So I hope you guys enjoy them and like them and research more a little bit about them. So now we're gonna talk about kids apps. We do have our 2 boys, Joshua and Elijah, that are 4 and 3. So they're still small. So we try to encourage them not to watch a lot of TV and obviously use electronics. It's very hard not to do, especially on this, day and age that technology is very big. And so we do let them, we don't say we don't, but it's very limited. So what we have learned with the boys is to give them a time limit. In the morning, we usually don't allow them to watch TV until after their nap time, their school time. Then we tell them, okay, now you could watch TV. And usually it's for like an hour or, in between the day, 1 or 2 hours, or we'll watch a movie together as a family.
Right.
When we're out and about and they're screaming and are frustrated and they're not interested in what we're doing, sometimes we do allow them to watch things on the phones and on the on the tablet. And we're going to be talking about what apps we allow them to watch on our phone and our tablet. So I don't know if you want to say something about that.
When you were saying that, it brought up something I think maybe we could do another video on also is how to work with the kids with
allowing them to see that?
Not electronics, but using their devices and stuff like that.
Correctly.
Because it does become a challenge because it's so easy to say, oh, here, watch this. Or, oh, here, go watch the TV. I need to do something. But they're not getting the same level of engagement. So there is dangers to that. So maybe we can do a video later on that. But I think, and we've gone to the doctor, and the doctor will say, don't give them more than an hour or 2 hours of screen time a day. And we pretty much agree with that. But we also think that we shouldn't keep them 100% away from it either, because these are tools. These are they can be used for good and they can be used for bad, and I think that's what you have to teach them how to do that. And so some of the apps, we don't let them just go use any app. For example, YouTube is one that we had trouble with because we used to let them watch YouTube. We don't do that anymore because when they'll watch YouTube, maybe they'll look up Spider-Man or Mickey Mouse or something Disney, and the video they're watching is fine, it's for kids. But YouTube will automatically recommend other videos after that video is over or on the sidebar. And sometimes there's stuff that kids shouldn't be watching. It's something that maybe is doing a play on Spider-Man with his sexy girlfriend or something. And so you'll hear them all of a sudden be like, what are you watching? And you go over there and it's like, whoa, how did you get into this? So YouTube can be dangerous. And so I think it's...
because they're kids and they want to click, and so unfortunately they'll get to something that they shouldn't be watching. Exactly. So we learned very quickly to... He took it off from his phone. I
deleted it from my phone because I don't want you using it anymore. Like, they know how... It's great. Kids learn very fast, so they know how to get in and find whatever they're looking for. So we stopped using YouTube. But then I heard that they have this new app, YouTube Kids. And when I heard about that, I was like, oh, that's interesting. And so I downloaded it, and I was very impressed because basically that problem that we had with YouTube was solved by YouTube Kids. What YouTube Kids does is it allows you to
put a timer.
Set timer, like how she was saying. So you can put a time limit, put 30 minutes. Once that's up, it turns off and it locks, and they can't watch anything else until you come and put your passcode.
Yes.
You can change your passcode, set a passcode for it. It also allows you to set the level. So if it's like for preschool kids or if it's for a little bit older kids, it'll allow them to access different levels of content. And so those are the best things. The timer, the parental controls, you can put the passcode, and the content is only kid stuff. You're not going to get any sexy Supergirl videos or anything like that.
No. So now to help us finish our top 2 or 3, 2 left are here... Joshua and Elijah. Yay! All right, guys, good job. Come on, you want to sit with mommy?
They were taking a nap. Now they're awake.
All right.
So what do you guys like to do on a tablet or on mommy and daddy's phone?
Kids YouTube, Netflix.
Netflix.
Wow,
Kids YouTube.
What's another app that we use?
Lego Ninjas.
Okay, well you watch Lego Ninjas and yeah.
What about
PBS Kids.
PBS Kids is another good app. What shows does it have on PBS Kids?
Super Why.
Super Why. So Super Why, if you don't know, is a really good show that basically the main character is Wyatt, and he basically goes into the books, and they learn about these actually classic stories like Alice in Wonderland and Jack and the Beanstalk, but the idea is to teach them how to read. And so it's pretty good. A lot of the shows are educational.
Yeah.
That's what we like about PBS Kids. YouTube is not always educational, but it's they like to have fun too.
So that's our top second is PBS Kids, and lastly it would be Bible for Kids. Again, Bible for Kids. Yeah. We like to implement our faith to the kids already at this age. So, it's very easy app to use. So there's Bible stories there, but obviously kid-friendly, and then they can move around like the characters and stuff. So Bible for Kids is another one that we use and that we like them to.
Is that the one that where like you can either read it or press it and it'll narrate it for you, and everything is moving and animated, it's like they're looking at the Bible scenes like a cartoon version. And like for Noah's Ark, you actually can like click on the animals and they move around and stuff, right? So yeah, it's pretty interactive, which is different, which is good for the kids.
Yeah, so those are our kid-friendly apps that we use. So YouTube Kids, PBS, and Bible for Kids. And obviously there's more that they have, educational stuff, but those are our top 3 recommendations.
The ones that they use the most too.
Yeah. So I hope you have liked this video. I hope you share it and like it on our Facebook or YouTube channel. And again, we want you guys to give us your input and your options of apps that you have. So go ahead at this moment, go to your phones, your tablets, and see what kind of apps you guys have, and just comment below and recommend them.
Share with us what are your top 3 apps that you use on a daily basis.
There you go. And then maybe we could do a video later on some new ones that we found from our viewers. So thank you again for watching this video, and thank you for watching the Jones Life. Share it, like it, and
comment.
God bless you guys.